commented on mixed doubles.
Well, it's an interesting game. I've had an opportunity to view. I haven't played much of it, but I've had an opportunity to watch it. It's very different. It's a fast-going game. You will notice that there's going to be a lot of rocks in play, and a lot of tapping and chipping and moving rocks around. As we go along, you'll see some things happening on the ice that are not normal in four-person curling, like two rocks that are going to be put in place
Every end.
every end.
In the same place.
In the same place. There are markers in the ice as to where these go. The diagrams are already made out where the rocks go. And there's one colored rock goes in to the button, and another colored rock goes a little ways in front of the house.
And Lawrence, this afternoon's match that's being broadcasted is Daniel and Kendra Lister playing
Samuel Goodine and Marlies Carter. Marlies Carter curls out of Sackville from Old New Brunswick, and Sam Goodine is from Woodstock.
And the Listers, of course, are husband and wife, and I believe they live in Fredericton, curl out of CWC. So sorry for the delay, folks, but this is the first draw of the event this weekend. So just getting all the protocols in place and for this COVID tournament.
It's going to be a little different. You'll also notice that the players are wearing masks. We've got protocols that need to be followed in curling that are a little different, but in mixed doubles it's not quite as complicated, I don't think, because there's not as many people that are playing.
Correct, yeah.
But they still have to wear the face mask.
Yeah, I mean, I'm playing league play on Mondays during the day, and it took some getting used to, but it's certainly doable, and everyone's minding their P's and Q's, and so far it's worked out very well. Other than where I'm skipping and I'm not allowed to sweep anything, I'm getting a little cold out there, but other than that, it's fine.
This is my first year skipping all. I curl 4 times a week. I'm skipping 4 times a week, and I'm freezing out there. I'm not used to it.
Just want to remind the viewing public, too, Lawrence, that they're able to watch live broadcasts of the Curling New Brunswick Mixed Doubles Championship on Bell 5 TV, Channel 1, and you can also watch the live stream on Curling New Brunswick webcast player, courtesy of 360 Live. So this is the first draw of the event, as we said, at 4 o'clock, 4:20, 4:25 now. The next draw is at 8 p.m. tonight, and then there's draws on Saturday, tomorrow, at 9, 12, 3 in the afternoon, and 7 in the evening, and then it wraps up on Sunday at 8 o'clock, 11:30, 3:30, and 7 o'clock in the evening.
So this is really the first provincial tournament that goes on. A lot of the tournaments have been canceled because of COVID or postponed. This is one event that they anticipated there was not going to be a national championship, so therefore there's no timing at this event, which is a little different for the curlers. They're not under a time pressure, but it's a fairly fast-moving game, so that should not be a problem. But now this is going to a national. They're going to be having the bubble in Calgary.
Right.
Where they're going to be doing the Brier, the Scotties, the mixed doubles, the Worlds, Canada Cup.
They made that announcement, and since they made that announcement, Alberta has not been doing very well, unfortunately. But we'll see. It's New Brunswick. I think they announced today we had no new cases. So.
No errors in the province.
Yeah.
This is one of the first days that nobody in the province.
Yeah.
So, no, we're doing very well. Alberta might be a little different, but the bubble. From what I understand, I've got one of my good buddies from Halifax that got invited to go to as an umpire. He had a 34-page protocol on what there is that they have to do, and it's a real bubble. They go from the airport to the hotel to the arena. No outside restaurants. They're hunkered down completely.
Well, was it the basketball or the hockey? Well, basketball had the bubble, right? And
basketball and hockey. They did both, yeah.
And for the most part,
it can work as long as
football had some glitches, but yeah.
But as long as people do, and you know, not to put down other sports, but Curlers are pretty accommodating.
Yeah.
They love the sport. They don't want anything to happen to it that's going to be a detriment to it. So they're going to follow the protocols without any issues.
So Catherine McLean, the head official, has just allowed the curlers to on the ice.
So we're going to notice now is that there's going to be 2 stones that are going to be placed.
And they kind of agree, Brian, or Lawrence, where they go.
Yeah, the players put them themselves, and as you can see, they're the 2 players that are there from opposite teams, and they just confirm that everything's in the right place.
Yeah.
They'll be very, very particular on that first one. Then then they get pretty not lackadaisical, but it goes fairly fast after that.
No, that's good. Yep.
So the team with the hammer has the rock in the house.
Right, which is the blue stone.
Which is the blue stone, correct.
And Lawrence, if I'm not mistaken, whoever throws the first stone will also be throwing the last stone.
That is correct.
And then the other person on the team will throw the middle 3 stones.
Middle 3 stones.
But there's 5 rocks in play.
And
well,
they can change that every end.
Right.
It's not for the whole
No,
game.
no, okay.
Wait
Good
on me.
enough.
They can't change in the middle of the end, but
Gotta move.
I mean, and I know it would probably be difficult to do, but could both of them sweep?
yes.
Okay.
Yes, both can sweep, which kind of makes it a young person's sport to be able to jump up after throwing a stone.
Well, there was a missed opportunity. Lawrence Marlies was just a little hot with that, and it stayed on that 4-foot line. And so Dan Lister now is being asked. The strategy here, Lawrence, probably to go in and sit on top of his other blue one that's in the house.
Yep, you're not going to see throwing a lot of guards.
Right.
The guard is already up.
Looks like we've got a nice rock here. It might be a little bit hot, but
it's going to bump a little bit.
Well done. And from our viewpoint, Lawrence, he's
13-3-1.
directly behind that outside guard.
I'm good. I'm excited.
He is. That was a good drop.
Yeah.
So now Daniel.
13-3.
So Kendra
I
will.
probably did it wrong, but.
Yeah, Kendra will throw. Or no, Daniel will throw the next 2 rocks, right?
You got it.
The next 3. Next
No,
2. Yeah.
Kendra will, right? Because Daniel just threw that one. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Kendra will sweep. So Samuel Goodine is. He wants to probably sit on top of that as well, Lawrence.
Well, I think that's what we're going to see in the strategy in most of these games is that they try to sit one on top of the other so that they can start tapping rocks around a little bit.
Getting some nice curl now.
Shot.
There we go. And
You know, Arnold, that's what I like about this game. It really shows the skills
Good shot.
of the person doing the delivery.
Huh?
It's better than 4-person curling because there's so much accuracy. It's such a
Probably didn't
light
have to sweep
touch
it.
that it
Had to throw a
takes.
little bit.
you know what? I haven't curled stick curling this year, but last year or the other years when I played, they've needed a player on Wednesday morning, so I go out. I really enjoyed that because it really shows you what the rock does. There's no sweeping involved, and you really see the trajectory that's on. This is probably we're going to see a little bit here today as well.
Well, I stick curl,
like,
and I find it's kind of the same strategy. You try to keep as many rocks in play as possible. The advantage that the mixed doubles have is that they have the 2 rocks that are already placed.
Mm-hmm. So now this is the first of Kendra's 3 rocks. And Lawrence, you mentioned to me earlier that from end to end they can switch that positioning.
That's correct. They have to complete the end in that rotation, but the next end they can change. And the reason that they would change is there might be one that can hit better than the other.
Kendra's got a nice rock here. Very well.
So if they need towards the end of the game, toward the end of the end, sometimes there's so many rocks in play, they need to just move rocks out of the way. So they need somebody that can really throw a big. I watched Brett
I took
Bland,
here.
who can throw
So probably like here.
just amazing, and that's what he would do. He could clear almost the entire house.
This is the first game that I broadcasted with Bell Alliance new cameras. Brian, that's a really nice setup you've got there. Boy, it's really gives us a great outlook on this sheet, but we can actually view some of the activities on the other sheets as well. Well done.
A little more.
So now I think what we saw was Kendra Stone, as it chipped, it rolled over a little bit on the left, so it kind of leaves it open for a freeze.
And there's a nice, you're going to get some movement now. This might overcurl a little bit.
So for the members of the club here to notice
Is that?
how the stones are reacting is these stones were textured
too.
yesterday. So they're going to get a lot more curl than what we were accustomed to.
This sheet, though, Lawrence, is consistent
Your right was
because I
perfect.
broadcasted the Scotties final on this sheet,
Curls off that 4-foot
and we
line.
do get plenty of curl. And this is new ice from this year, I understand, but
Yes.
it kind of acts, and with the textured rocks, that's great too. And when we talk about textured people, they actually have a fine sanding on the bottom of the rock. There's a writing surface, and it really makes them lively with the movement.
Well, what happens with the rock after being used over and over again, they smoothen out on the bottom.
Yeah.
They're going over ice, but they do smoothen out.
Right.
So by doing a little texture, by sanding two directions on the stone, now you've got some friction on there.
Yep.
So they get more curl, which is what the curlers like. You want more curl.
Right.
And especially with this game, in the mixed doubles, that advantage to be able to do.
Yeah. There are pretty well the first 3 days. There will be 4 games going on at a given time, and unfortunately, because of the COVID protocol, there is no viewing public. You'll see some people sitting behind, but they're either a fifth player or the coach. So if you do see some people in the lounge, the curling lounge, or volunteers here at the curling club, but they're not spectators per se.
Now, COVID rule allows for one family member per player
Okay.
or per team.
Okay.
So there's not going to be a lot of people.
Unfortunately, but
Even volunteers can't really come and watch, which is kind of an advantage, Arnold, that we have, that we get to watch a game live.
Yes, exactly. Now, this is an interesting decision by Kendra and Daniel
Same thing.
Lawrence. They chose
Same thing.
to draw in. She could have gone down on that yellow, but they're lying 2 for sure.
Well, it looks like 3 from here.
Yep,
What?
yep.
No.
Now, mind you,
This is
that
last
the
premium.
Blues are open for
Yeah.
at least the double,
Tap. Yeah.
and he could. And he
Got it.
now the strategy may not be to take them out right away, right? Position yourself to be in there.
What?
Huh?
What? I know.
I think that's what they're discussing.
Maybe a little more, but yeah, like that.
Yellow has.
You got it.
This is her.
So I'm trying to count how many stones. One. Yeah, they still have 2 stones left.
Right.
It's a little dangerous the way that they're set up too, in that they've got that yellow stone. A double, they could lose their own again.
Yes, that's right. That's why it looked like they may have been playing just a tap up so that they can do something with their final stone, and then put the play back onto the Lister team.
It's pretty good. T-line.
Because it's rarely a high-scoring game because of this. So that's what they're going for.
Yeah,
They
close.
look like they're going for a little tap.
He seemed to have gotten out a little further on that one, Lawrence, but
Boy, it's curling.
here comes the movement. The weight is crucial here. Very well done. Yeah, that's exactly what they called for.
Okay, that's good.
Now it's still blue is still lying 3, but
But Kenred's going to have to put up a guard.
It's okay. Uh-oh.
Yeah, because that's the yellow one is open for them to be able to tap back
right.
because they don't have to move it very far.
The Lister team, their team sponsor is Picket Fence Motel, located in St. Andrews. Stayed there a couple of times. It's a beautiful, it's an older facility, but very well maintained. Sue and Vern Lister run it. And, yeah, very nice.
Great supporters of curling, too.
Yeah.
Vern's a qualified ice
Yes.
technician.
Yes, it's nice to see them involved. And Sue, of course, is on our board.
And I was talking to Sue
Find
here
it?
at the beginning of the season, asking
was
her
it?
how I was trying to get a handle
Where
on
was
what's
it?
going on around the clubs.
Oh.
'Cause I was not working with Warren Hansen, but Warren was asking me what was going on in the Maritimes. And they were at full membership.
Nope.
That's great.
St. Andrews Club is they're open and
That's
doing
great.
well.
That's great. Yeah, unfortunately, a number of the clubs here at Curl Moncton, it's a 10 ice facility, but the decision by the board was made not
Beautiful all the way
to
outside on this.
open the newer 5 sheets. So they're going to operate with the 5 sheets for
Yeah,
this
it's on
year
guard, though.
in the existing club. Lawrence, we were talking about scores, and I see after the first end over on sheet 2 that they've taken a 4-ender. So there must have been some misses there, huh?
And see where Kendra put that perfect spot.
Yep. Nice guard.
There's not a lot of options now.
We almost need the run back.
Yeah, we might be having a significant end here as well.
Yeah, I
No.
guess when I said there was low scoring,
Not really.
It's always the way,
It's
isn't
hard
it?
to get by the draw.
Eldridge and McLeod have scored a 4 in the first end over a
Did we
nice
come in
2.
here?
You can always blast this. There's no harm in it.
What?
You can always blast this.
This right
Yeah,
here?
they've got their work
Yeah,
cut out
that's what
for
I'm
them
thinking.
here.
Never, nothing unless you hit this one. It's hard to hit that one.
Yeah.
Just as long as you get past the guard.
I
What
guess
weight,
the option
though?
is to,
I don't know. Feel?
well, they can come in off, well, no, there's no room to
Would that
come in
be
off
peeled?
their yellow even.
The blue yellow is there. You're not going to give them any more points if you raise
Exactly.
Shame on this one, and we might give
and
them
I
2, though.
think you're allowed to do that, are you not?
Yep, oh, you can do anything you want now, so.
I almost have to get to nose, just like off
Yeah,
those,
but I'm
like
thinking,
here.
I'm thinking, Lawrence. I'm thinking the guard.
Oh, the guard.
The last one that
Yep.
Kentra
Yeah.
played.
You hold it?
Yep. But I think they're going to go after that blue. If she can throw the weight
I'm not sure what
and
that's.
reduce it,
Yeah. There's. Yes, I mean obviously.
they can't do more.
No.
Is there 3 they're lying?
If you probably hit 50% of it, and they'll get a double.
They could reduce it to 1.
Yeah. Which at this point, they'd be more than happy with, I would suggest.
But as you can see, all the stones are all around the 4
The 4
foot.
foot. Yep. Yep.
Now we'll see how the stone's going to react under throwing weight, to how much it's going to curl.
Definitely throwing takeout weight. It'll sit there on that 4 foot line.
Well, she eliminated 1.
Sorry.
Well,
But
actually,
no.
yeah. So they're going to.
Oh, I didn't see
Sorry.
there was one rock in behind there too. So they are sitting 3. She's going to draw
Yeah,
for 4.
my thumb hit it at the end and flipped it right out.
All right, I was wrong. Oh, but on sheet 5 proved me right. They only scored 1 point.
Yeah. Yeah.
And on sheet 1 is 2 points.
I don't think it'll matter.
But again, that's how quickly this can happen in
Yep.
in the mixed doubles. It can
So-
accumulate fast.
So on sheet 1, we've got Parmenter and Burgess playing Como and Forrestal. We've got McLeod and Eldridge playing
Scoring
Winter
anyways.
and
We're
Salajay.
scoring anyways.
And then our game, Lister and Goodine. And on sheet 5, it's Goodine,
Yeah.
Stanley, and McDonald.
So I find it funny that he's drawing on this side.
Well, they were coming in nicely here.
Except
And
this one's not curling.
no, he may have
A little further out.
And I think he's a little heavier too.
Yeah.
He's at the he's through actually. So that's the difference.
Yeah, because he couldn't get in on the other side.
To score,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So they picked up 3. So after the first end, we've got Lister over Carter, Goodine, with a score of 3-0.
1-5. We can change it. Want to change it?
Do you want to?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. You go up there then.
Yeah.
So on this sheet with Carter and Goodine, Carter is 15 years old, high school student, and San Goodine 16 years old and a high school student. So we got some really young curlers. Both of them have been curling for quite a while. And Marliese has been curling for 11 years, and Sam's been curling for 8 years.
Yeah, and the Goodines, of course, Jonathan Goodine, Sam's father, is on our board at Curling NB as well. He's the director of junior development, junior curling. Kendra is a senior internal auditor, social development, the province, and Daniel is cyber intelligence analyst with the government of New Brunswick. So, and Daniel's been curling 24 years, and Kendra's 26 years. Kendra is also the daughter of from the Miramichi. I can't think of his name. Dodie Dickinson.
Yep.
Yep.
Another avid curler and great supporter of curling.
Yep. There's well paced. So Daniel's remaining to throw the first rock, which means Kendra will throw the middle rocks.
Mhm. Yep.
So you might, when you do the overhead, you see the X on the stones, on the yellow and a blue stone. And those are to indicate which stones are going to be the ones that will be placed. The guard
So
into the house.
they'll never be thrown
They'll never be used.
during the whole game. Okay. I wonder if they're using the same number on each sheet. Not that matters, I don't imagine. The stones typically in the curling rink are numbered 1 to 8, so the lead typically throws 1 and 2, but in competitive play, that's not necessarily true. In league play, for sure.
Good shot.
In competitive play, a lot of the curlers know the rocks in each curling club. They know how they react.
Good shot. Right on the pin.
I'm not so sure now because the stones are textured, the ice changes, that all the stones all react the same way. Now, it's
Yep.
true that there's a few ounces tolerance on the weights of the stone. The striking bands can be a little different.
And these, I believe, are the new stones that were purchased here a little over a year ago here at Curl Moncton.
Okay.
So in that striking band, you're right, Lawrence. The older stones we had versus these new ones, it's quite a change.
I'm peachy.
Well, and that's why you'll see them fairly lively within the house.
Right.
A little tap back can move the rock a fair amount.
Okay, Kendra is, I think Dan indicated that she's going to come and try to get to that yellow on the button. And again, she doesn't necessarily have to take it out at this stage. This is over curling, so got to rub on the guard. That,
Which you can do. You can move the
Just
stones
like
around,
2 hours or just like
which is not a bad thing now. It opened up.
it opened the 4 foot up.
So that
Yeah.
forces the other team into a little defensive mode. They're going to have to put up a guard, I assume.
Yeah, they'd want to protect their investment there of having that sitting on the. I mean, I suppose they could sit it right on top
Freeze.
of it as well. Yeah, yeah. Because as you say, most of the play will be on that 4 foot.
Line's pretty good.
She's throwing enough weight to
Wait
get
only.
it to the house.
Line's good. Got lots of room. Yeah. It's got to move. It's got to curl.
And just, yeah, he's just keeping it fresh there. Here it
Get by,
comes
get
down.
by.
Here we go. There's the freeze we took.
Go, 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 go. Whoa.
To one side a little bit, but that's
Sweet.
still, that's a tough double.
Sorry.
Because the guard is now,
Yeah, the guard that got pushed over now
Yeah.
is covering, so.
Kendra's coming down to have a look at it. She has to throw her next rock, and it's always good to come down and get a feel for just how close those rocks are. The players don't have the opportunity of seeing the overhead camera.
What? Not really.
Actually, Lawrence,
they just pick it out.
they could make a play on either of the Yellowstones as long as they stick around.
Well, they can't
Yep.
even get there. Because they took that over.
And they don't have to move
Yeah.
them out of the
No.
They're just
ring.
gonna pop it
So
right
they
through
just
the hole, I
want to
think.
tap them back to give themselves a little more room.
I don't
And
think you can ever stick around unless you throw
so
like
if
down
they're going
late.
after the one on the button, they probably just want to move it back to the 8 foot or the 12 foot.
Once again, just want to remind the public that you can watch the live broadcast of the Curling NB Mixed Doubles Championship on Bell 5 TV, Channel 1. You can also watch the live stream on the Curling New Brunswick webcast, courtesy of 360 Live.
Since when do we play good with hammer? Oh, my stopwatch.
Lawrence,
is
we were
still going.
talking about
stopwatch is
the
still
Curling
going.
Club in St. Andrews, and of course we're open here. Most of the curling clubs in the province did in fact open or will be
I think she's
opening.
blasting it out.
There were
I think she's
some,
just
however,
blasting
that they weren't going to take the risk or didn't have the wherewithal to make sure that they were COVID prepared. So, yeah, it's a shame, but we're
In my survey around the province, most of the clubs were going to be open. There's some that were in a position that just the layout of the club wasn't going to work for them to be able to open up as a.
Yep.
If people could see the setup in this club to see how it's all divided, we've got arrows on the ground. Where you have to go in one direction. There's no dressing rooms
What?
open.
Yeah.
And there's some clubs that can't accommodate that. But for
Right.
the most part, there might only be 3 clubs in the province that are closed.
okay.
Okay.
Well, that's good too. And the other thing with, well, it's a good thing, bad thing. If a lot of we typically would lose a lot of our southern vacationers, and that I don't think will be happening very much. So people that maybe have been away from the sport for a while
Line's good.
are likely coming back.
Little tight.
We
which
could
is
get some
Yeah.
snowbirds.
Hard line, hard!
We've got
Hard!
some new curlers in our Learn to Curl program
Hard
who
line. Well, just leave it
traditionally
as a
go
guard
south
then.
to golf
Right.
Gonna overcurl
and decided
anyway.
this year they can't go, so they're going to
Yeah.
curl. Never curled in their lives.
Yes, I saw they just completed
Sorry.
the Learn to Curl
Yeah.
first. That's great.
So this stone over curled
You can get
and
all
left
that right now.
it open now.
Kendra threw the, so really she is similar shots to what she just threw.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't have to throw quite as much weight.
Well, she doesn't want to lose the shooter.
No. And even she's indicating to Dan even to sit on top of that yellow for this shot, hold him to 1 at this point.
Well, it's all about setup. So
Yes.
if he can freeze or even just tap back a bit, so he's got 1 stone in play. So the other, when yellow comes down, they've got no place to take out.
Yep, yep. And that's what Kendra indicated, just a tap back. And they're discussing about how much ice they need, so, yep.
And that's a bit of a difficult, for some of the curlers that I spoke to in the club that started stick curling last year, they find it difficult not having a target to shoot at. So you see the two players go down at the other end, they don't have a broom in the house to be able to, so it's an imaginary target.
Right.
And
Yes.
some of the curlers have found that difficult.
But it's amazing how quickly this is picked up, and I think most of the larger clubs anyway do have a mixed doubles league.
Well, here we have a full league. It's really caught on.
And the other thing is, the game typically, Lawrence takes what, about an hour and a half, maybe?
Yep, an hour to an hour and a half.
Yep. Yep.
I've only managed to play one game. I went in for somebody last year. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I've never played it, I got to say. So.
And as you said earlier, it's a little bit like stick curling. Stick curling's an hour. It takes us an hour to play 6 games. So for people that find the game a little long time to be on the ice for 2.5 hours.
Well, and the mixed doubles league is in the evening. I don't think there's one during the day. So a lot of those people are still working. So it's, it accommodates that side of things.
So they're coming to
Kendra's got a nice shot here now.
Little tap back.
That's exactly what she indicated.
Yeah.
And she's
The
lying
pockets,
too.
let's go there.
Or they're lying too, the listers. Now, mind you, those blues are wide open.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So Lawrence here, choice to make. You could take the top blue and
What?
roll in, or you could actually draw, and you got lots of
No,
backing.
I like
And
this.
that's kind
If
of what
there's
he
a pocket, it's
indicated
just take it.
that they could do, but we'll see if they go for a draw.
Mm-hmm.
This is the game that if you can't draw, you can't play.
And we're still, I think we discussed this earlier, we're still playing the 5 rock rule, right? Technically?
Technically, yeah.
I mean, there's
There's
already two rocks in
out of
play, so
yeah.
yeah. Lawrence, I know in the
Little tight, yeah.
in the league play on
Yeah.
Mondays,
Yes, hard. Gotta
with the
go
COVID,
hard.
the rocks are all
Hard.
sanitized by a
Go,
member
go,
of
go,
each
go, go.
team. They're the only ones
Whoa,
that
whoa.
sanitize the rocks
Crap.
until you get to throw yours. And the
Yes,
scoreboard.
yes,
There's
hard,
typically
go.
one scorekeeper
Hard.
for both teams.
Whoa, whoa.
Sanitizes the numbers
Sit down.
as they go up.
So there's a nice shot. So that
Yep.
that shot rock, that's going to be hard to move.
But to listers,
Sorry, I was going back
they
off to
could
my
get
other
shot
one.
because there's
I
still
was
enough
going
of the
based off my
buttons
other one because I knew it was
from
going
our
to turn
overhead
right at
things,
the,
Brian.
the
That,
hold line.
you can see that they can certainly be sitting there
Tight.
and get shot rock and not be able to be moved out.
He's just drawing, or he's coming
And
into
at this
it,
point, I
isn't
mean, to steal a point would be huge for the listers.
I think he's going to be heavy. Like he's going to try and be heavy. Like
If she's on that.
he's throwing bumper weight. It didn't curl until I got past the hog
And
line.
even
Like,
at
it was,
the
like,
in
on
this
the
at the
4 foot
beginning
line,
of the
and then
game,
when
the
he hit
ice
the hog
text
line,
went out and
it
they did
came in.
sanitize all the rocks that are on the sheet.
Yeah.
It's a pretty well standard now.
Yep. I mean, the clubs have to do what they have to do. It's there's protocols for the New Brunswick sport. They've laid out the law, and
But you know,
That's-
Arnold, those are good habits
yeah.
to begin with.
No, you're
forever.
right. No, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
I think it'll cut down on some absenteeism in
Yeah.
the workplace by people having just good habits.
Yeah.
Better. Stop those back to you,
Yeah.
So he's going, oh, he's drawing.
Yeah, and again, it's just to sit on
got
top.
it.
It's to be
No, no, right
an
here.
annoyance for the Goodine team. Coming in nice
Yeah.
now.
Going to be able to move it a little bit, and we'll be shot.
There we go. So that puts the onus
Yeah.
on
It's going to be a hard rock to move.
Yeah, again,
Good tap.
they're going to have to play for the next shot, right?
Yeah.
You can't remove it,
Just
but
can't
they
be
might
heavy,
as well
just gotta
sit right
tap
on
it.
top of it to try to
Just try and
score
get to
one
the inside of it and just tap
with
it
their
and see if
last
you can get
stone.
it back anymore.
Well, they probably would want to move
I
it a
hold the
little
broom? Do you
bit
want
so
me to
that they
sweep?
move get some space
Yes.
I just need to
from
tap
their
it.
rock,
Yeah.
Just so back
so that it
4,
opens up
back
a
8.
little more.
Not even. Just make sure that your rock stays at least there.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't. It really
They took
doesn't
here.
accomplish anything by taking out
Do you
that
want me to hold it? Do you
blue
want to sweep?
on the tee line. You know, I think the call is to sit on top of the shot rock.
Mm-hmm.
Now, sitting on top of it, they're not going to get shot rock. But again, for their next shot, as you said, it's all about setup.
Hold on.
As I mentioned earlier, this is the 4 o'clock draw. We got started a little bit late, but the next draw is at 8 o'clock tonight. There are draws tomorrow, Saturday, December 19th at 9 a.m., 12 noon,
Basically
3
aim at the
p.m.,
middle of
and
that blue
7
rock.
p.m. And then the tournament wraps up on Sunday, December 20th at 8 a.m., 11:30, 3:30, and 7 p.m.
It's good.
And again, apologize for the late start today, but that'll be all resolved. A few issues because of the sanitization and all the things that have to be gone through.
Now,
Those
that
are
really
resolved.
moved on it.
Yep.
Wow.
So that scored one for
Yep.
Team Lister again. There's not much they could do to try to move that rock. So.
Now that I'm not going to say picked, but it certainly moved on him.
He was light.
Yeah, I think you're right, Lawrence.
What?
The minute
Exactly.
the rock starts to slow down with these textured rock, when it starts to slow down,
Yeah,
they're
I
going
like
to curl
that. I think we
hard.
did better that way.
I threw a couple of rocks this morning. We're doing some test runs, and I threw it straight down the center line, and it stayed dead set on the center line till about halfway down. And then as the rock slowed down, it started to curl, and it went 6 feet.
Right on. So the third in is set up. We're putting one just beyond the button, and the other one comes out about what 2/3 of the way out from the hog line, or no, maybe a third. And then the other opponent comes out and just makes sure that he or she agrees with where the placements are. So.
There are markers in the ice
Right, to tell them.
to
Yep.
tell them to guide them
Yeah,
where
it's a little
they
bit
should be
early.
putting them.
Yeah. It looks like it's about 3/5 of the distance from the 12 foot to the hog line.
And usually there's one there. You'll see in most of the clubs there's 3
them
spots
the
that are
time.
put in the ice, and the ice techs will decide which spot they're going to use. They don't change the spot; they pick a spot, and that's based on how much curl there is on the ice. So if there's not a lot of curl, they might put the rock closer to the hog line, but usually it's the middle.
Lawrence, just when we see, the viewers are probably seeing some footprints,
Calm down.
I'll say, in the ice, and that is when you're playing
Calm down.
regular play. They're four-man team,
probably
but there's
like-
only 3 people
yeah.
on the ice at any given
Just corner
time.
freeze. Take a
So
little
if
bit
you're
more
not
ice.
shooting, then you have a designated spot to stand. So, and they've done a nice job. There's very little interaction team to team. So,
Never mind.
Yeah, and if there's signs all around the
What's wrong?
curling club that if you're not shot, stand on the spot.
What?
And it's working out very well. It was a little confusing at the beginning,
yep.
but now it's so natural. You see people just rotating around.
And the club was required to submit COVID protocol to be accepted for play, and Curling NB has also played a big role with that, as has Curling Canada. So everyone's trying to get this thing right.
Well, we want to curl,
Yeah.
and we want these championships. We want some place for these teams to be able to go to compete. And, they hone their skills all year so that they can try to get to a national championship, and we're going to make sure that everything is in place for them to be able to attend.
Oh, that's a nice draw. Going to over-curl a little bit on them, but
Good shot.
now the temptation would be to go,
thought that was a
go
good
for
buy,
that
didn't
yellow,
you?
but I'm not sure that that's the proper call.
It's okay.
You've got to get some action on that, otherwise you're kind of a sitting duck for them to come and take you out.
Yeah, so I think they just indicated
Nice
just
shot, Nick.
move it back a little bit
Right.
and sit right where they got the broom.
Yeah, because the blue stone, from the overhead, you don't realize it, but when you look at this angle, and Brian, thank you for that, you can see that the one that is on the button is directly behind that guard, so it's not as though they can make a play on that right away.
Freezing.
So these are 8-end games.
They are.
Yeah.
Which what makes it just a little faster.
Yeah.
Without having to go 10 ends.
Right.
There's a lot of talk about 8-end games all around now, and I think we're going to see that happen right after the next Olympics.
Yeah, they've been talking about that for a while now. Yep. So Kendra's getting ready, and I think the indication was, Lawrence, for them to come down and sit on top of that yellow. I don't think she's attempting to take it out.
I don't think so, not with this weight.
We'll soon find out. Husband Daniel giving that a sweep, but I think we're going to get some action on this as well.
It's a real strong sweeper, and that's what you need too, because you've only got one.
Right.
Did ever curl?
She's by the guard.
I don't think
but
that was a shot, though. I don't think that was a shot.
not the greatest position.
No, because there's still a play for them to come in and sit on top of that.
But that was the weight sensitive thing.
Yeah.
Just needed, I think the line was okay, just didn't have enough weight to get there.
Right.
And for maybe the novice listeners in curling, when we talk about weight, we're talking about speed of the rock from one end to the other. So when we say that it's light, it means a light delivery, and a heavy is a heavy delivery.
Yeah, back in the good old days, you really'd have to heave it down to the other end, even for a draw. Today, you barely let it go, and but that's to do with the new rocks, the textured rocks, the ice maintenance, that they're tweaking that all the time. They're trying to get the ice surfaces here in the curling club at these events as comparable to an arena setting where your big tournaments will be taking place.
Yeah.
Needs to curl.
And they,
Whoa,
quite frankly, they do a pretty good job.
And the reason that they do great at
Yes, hard line, hard!
an arena event is that there's a lot more maintenance being done compared to what you would get normally at a curling club.
Yep. Well, that was a well-placed stone. That's exactly what they were looking to do. I mean, yellow's 2, 3, and 4.
What?
But they have two options now.
Yep.
Yellow's well set up that they're either side.
If I tap that or hit that yellow, will that one go right to the hole? Or?
The listers can't protect both sides.
No, and I think the temptation might be to, and Daniel just indicated, you make a takeout on that yellow with hitting about 50% of it, it's going to come back on your blue and maybe even get some action on the other yellow. Around the horn, as they say.
Vic Rowder's favorite shot. That was always interesting to watch in the Ford Hot Shots.
Yeah.
I don't
He
think they
would
meant
put
to
one
guard
of
it. I think
those
that was
up.
a shot first. And then I think that they didn't mean to guard it.
Once again, the mixed doubles provincial championship is being held here in
Well, really,
Moncton
isn't it
at
tap
Curl
it up
Moncton.
together?
going to have draws. There's another one tonight at 8 o'clock, and then there's 4 draws on both Saturday and Sunday here at the club. And you can watch live broadcasts of the Curling NB Mixed Doubles Championship on Bell 5 TV, Channel 1. You can also watch the live stream on Curling NB webcast player, courtesy of 360 Live.
Heavy back
So
there.
she threw a little bit of weight, so she wants some movement on the yellow rocks a little bit.
And they want to get an inside hit, Lawrence.
Yep. So that they can just a little roll, and there
Very
you
nice.
go.
Very nice.
I think
And
we're
I think
still
they're
short
number 2.
over them, but no. Maybe not.
I would say
Yeah.
one and 2. You're
1
right.
and 2
Yeah,
now.
no,
They're
they're
sitting.
shot.
Both blue rocks are in scoring
And
position.
again, from that angle,
We
Lawrence,
like-
you don't see that there's actually
I
2
know, but
guards on
that's
the
really
center
close. I
line.
think
So
that'll hit that
it
first.
makes it a little more difficult to come in. There we go. Thanks, Brian. A little more difficult to come and take those out. You can certainly get one out, but whether you get enough activity on it to get the second one out, not so
No matter
sure.
which
And
one
you-
we
can you
hit,
keep the shooter
the other
in
one's
your-
going.
And there you go. Yeah.
So, just a matter. We could try and tap this one and then this tap.
Again, when we were talking
Yeah.
about the
Right here.
imprints on the ice, you see that the
I don't know.
Scotties
What do you think? Like it?
is prominently displayed in the house and that's
I
from
think this one
the
for
Scotties
sure
Tournament of Hearts that
moves
was
it,
held
but
here
this one,
probably 2 years ago now, I think.
And will be again this year.
Right. Oh, that's right.
I maybe
And then
hit this one,
the
but-
CCE is the Center of Curling Excellence, which is
Yeah.
a training
Which one do you like?
facility here at Curlmoncton. Typically, they would run. The ice goes in here
Yeah, but then it
mid-August,
might leave them sitting
and,
too, even though, well,
actually
closer.
mid-July, and goes right through till the curling season. This year, unfortunately, because of
What ice?
COVID,
Like,
and
what do you think,
they were
board
not
weight or
able to do their training
trying to
sessions, and
leave-
they have
yeah.
curlers coming from all
back
over.
line?
It's an
Okay.
excellent program. There's
Ice.
four 1-week camps,
Middle of the year. Okay.
and they're maxed out at 74, 76 curlers that come in for 1 week training. But this year has been a wipeout for it. But the CCE has been able to do lots of still training for youth curlers and for learn to curl programs.
And I mean, they for those
Can't really
camps
see
too,
it.
Lawrence, they would bring in the likes of
Back line, though.
Brent Gallant, Jennifer Jones,
Holman,
yeah, a
Just
lot
heavy
of
draw,
the big
basically.
players would
even
come
some
down.
of the Europeans, Goodine.
Yeah, yeah, which is really neat. Yeah,
So not sure what the shot here. So once she comes out of the house, we'll probably know by how much weight that she's throwing.
it would appear she's trying to make contact on that yellow, judging by that.
Needs to curl.
And with that weight, it stays on that 4-foot line. It
Never.
should start to move here. Here it
Yes!
comes now.
Hard! Hard!
It's a nice finish.
Whoa!
Wow, she
Well,
got
so
she
that's
got
not
some
bad.
good movement on that. Mind you, blue is still lying 2.
But they're separated.
Yes, yeah, you're right.
Sorry, called you on it too
There's
soon.
nothing frozen up against, so there's a little more room for them to maneuver.
Sorry. I like moving separation. Yeah.
Didn't miss the rock, right?
Yeah. That was a little bit
You'll
heavier.
see the ice techs come out after the fourth end and give the ice a sweep, just to clear any debris.
They'll do a sweep and put a little more pebble on the ice just around the hacks. That's the spot that gets worn the most.
Because of
Yeah.
the slide.
Because of the
have
slide,
to
they
do.
wear it down very quickly.
Right.
It's kind of for you. You weave to something.
We'll give you some updates. We've got two of the 4 games that are in they're finishing their 4th end. We're in the 3rd end here, so after the 4th end break, we'll give you an update.
So the 2 of the games that are a little slower on sheet 1 and sheet 4, which is our game, and the reason for that is that there's been a lot of rocks in play.
Yep.
I don't know
I didn't see the call here, Lawrence. So they're going.
Well, they appear to be going on for a guard on their blue.
Blue is still lying 1 and 2.
Yeah. What turn is she throwing? Oh no, she's.
They may be making play on that yellow.
On the yellow. Well, I was wondering. That's why I thought they were going on the other side. And
She's got nice weight, just tap back weight. If Daniel can hold it.
they just need to move it a little bit and get a roll. If they got it. Yep. Oh, reduced themselves to 1.
You wouldn't want to
They
jam.
needed a little more curl on that. Daniel probably could have gotten off of that a little bit.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But not an easy play now.
Well,
No.
we could try and
Mind
do the same
you,
shot that I called.
if they can get to that blue one,
try and get to the center
Lawrence,
of
they
it and
don't. They could get a roll on that. The yellow could be
could
sitting
be
Still
sitting
straight.
doing one.
Yep.
I have one more, don't I?
Yep. Yeah, you have one.
I'm just trying to like I don't know. What are they gonna do if we do something shot?
Flash it.
So this
Okay,
is the last rocket. No,
Pop
there's.
it through here. Right there. 'Cause it rolls up and hits
Yeah,
that.
there's
I know. That's why you almost have to get right
yellow
here.
has last rock, and so they've got 2 to
You wanna
play.
throw
So
the hit now, if you want to freeze to it, because if you freeze to it, they guard it.
They freeze to that. They probably play this.
They
Right?
can't play that.
Why not?
The guard's in the way. I mean, you
Well,
can
then they
try.
probably. I don't know. We could also we could take that in. Like,
So
just
they're
get it
discussing
into
their options, whether they want to tap up
That's
the
the
yellow.
play, right? Like,
Yeah.
Because that yellow is still exposed,
Okay. What do you like then?
I think.
which is the number 2 stone counting.
Tap it out, but you have to
Okay.
I think you have to back off.
yeah, the problem
Okay,
with going
so
after
last-
that blue, the top of the button, is you could
Maybe a little
hang it
more
on,
ice. I
on
think.
your own.
Yeah.
But I still think that
Yeah.
might be. And again, you got to think about what your next shot is, right?
Half almost. Might be able to get to it. So those back 12.
So as we mentioned, Lawrence, the player in the end that throws the first stone will also be throwing the last stone. There's 5 rocks being played with 2 rocks already positioned. And then the second player throws the 3 rocks,
Oh, you gotta curl. You gotta curl a lot.
rock 2, 3, and 4.
Whoa!
So Melissa's
Never.
Marlies.
So she wants to move something.
It's moving,
Whoa! Whoa!
moving
Whoa!
on her
Whoa! Curl, curl, curl.
now. Well, that's not terrible, but it didn't quite do what they had hoped.
Sorry, I was outside. Actually, I
Blue
wasn't
is lying
really.
1, and yellow is second rock.
I think I just took too much ice.
So Lister's looking at coming down to tick off the yellow.
Yeah, I probably should be like backline, like in that zone.
Yeah, I would think that you'd want to get that one out of there because they have the option. Either that or Daniel's indicating perhaps a freeze. Which isn't a bad call either.
So it comes to a point as which shot they're more comfortable with.
Right. I mean, they've been playing this particular draw all game, so
If he's anywhere on the right of the floor, then there's a quicker. Like, unironically, a quicker.
So Kendra's going to call line. She's staying in the house. So my guess is they're going to take the yellow out. They're not taking a lot of ice.
He's hitting that.
Yeah, so this is Daniel's
He probably just
last
starts
rock
off way
of
back
this
there,
end.
so-
He might be trying to,
Yeah, I think that's what they were talking about. So
trying to nick it. There's a bad person. Alright.
So he's the one then jumping up that's going to
he's
sweep his
looking
own stone if he needs to. Got a curl.
And you know what?
Ooh, get it by.
He may have rushed that a little bit and not going to get what they had hoped for here.
No,
around. Who's shot
nope.
now? Who shot?
Yeah, we're one. How do you get two?
That's
Maybe a little more
just
weight
tap,
than he
tap.
anticipated.
For sure.
Stayed
But also,
straight along.
No,
but
no,
also
just
jumping
tap.
up to go sweep
It's
that
just
stone.
one shot,
And
isn't
they, a lot of them do it, but
Yeah,
Takes a
tap,
talent.
tap.
yeah, yeah.
If you want to watch Reed Carruthers do it, because
And
Reed
if you don't, just
throws
throw back
with,
forward, back 8. And if you don't get
stabilizer.
it, and if you don't get it, then just take her one
So
point
he
and get
has
it over
to.
with.
He
Yeah.
puts his broom standing up
What
halfway
I feel
down,
like just aiming at here.
and he delivers, gets rid of the stabilizer, jumps
Back
up,
forward,
grabs
back
the
eight-ish.
broom.
You just want enough to tap it.
You have to be quite the athlete to be able to do that.
Make sure. Wait, this could be for 3 if your rock stays around.
I gotta try and get two first.
I like aiming right in between the rock and the fork.
So now they're looking at if
And then
they
you let
can
go.
onto the yellow and move the blue a little.
You got this, okay?
They
You
could
got
sit
no
through.
pressure.
They could be right back in this game.
Yep.
Just and it's always about what you leave your opponent. Unfortunately for Dan, he did get out there, and as you say, perhaps it wasn't about where he came out on the broom. It was probably more about the weight he had thrown.
And you're right, probably
Yeah,
anxious
great.
about having to jump up to
Just
sweep.
aim with
Yeah,
the
I
right
don't,
weight and you
I
should
don't
be able
see
to
any
power.
reason for Kendra to stay up there, quite frankly, because it's you
You
know.
got it.
Well, I think they knew they were tight, so she was going to call line.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
back 8.
However, the opportunity here for Carter and Goodine.
Puts them into the game.
Little down.
Marlies is on that, and we're getting some movement like we expect here.
We'll get by the guard.
No.
No.
Oh, yeah.
So we got one. Well, they're on the board.
Yeah.
Not a miss by much.
No, no.
So just a quick update on the other sheets is we've got
That's okay.
Burgess
Your weight was pretty
Parmenter
good. Little down, sausage.
over Como Forstel. So
That's okay, we got rid of the
Burgess is
hammer, it's fine.
3-2 for
Yeah, pretty
Parmenter.
close.
And on sheet 2,
It's okay, we got one.
Winter
We're
Solage
on
is
the board.
1 and Eldridge McLeod are 5.
Sure, I don't care.
Now we don't know what happened in the fourth end, mind you, Lawrence.
Oh,
but,
that's right. There's only 3 ends up there on each one of them.
No, we'll get those points up, and Ice 5 is also finished with their fourth end. We'll wait till they give us a score there. So Marlies came down and just to make sure that she was pleased with the stone placement, so she was. Gave her okay.
What?
That's a great
I
part of
know.
it too. I think you said that going back when this concept first started,
Just a
the
drop.
officials
Got it.
actually placed the rocks in those places. But now it's a very gentleman's sport. I say that knowing that there's ladies out there too. But yeah,
Well, it's not terribly complicated, and I think originally when they started, they just wanted the
Little
officials
soft.
to be involved. But really, there was no reason for it. They soon realized that the players
I think your weight's pretty
players
good.
are there already. They didn't want to wait for an official to come to do this.
right. And it's not like you could have 4 officials out there.
Here it comes.
Not for an event at a national, there is, but
Very nicely done for Sam.
some of the umpires that I talked to
Good
said
shot.
it was exhausting moving rocks.
Yes, yes.
Perfect.
And that's
couldn't have put it
that's
in
a
a perfect-
well.
What?
Mine minor curling.
Well placed rock.
He puts more of a handle on it.
Really good shot.
He's on the right side of the tee line and
That's all you. That's a good shot.
shot
You
rock.
can't get any better than that, literally.
So it's hard to say what the advantage is of either having hammer or not in this game.
It's a little tight. He's a little tight.
Yeah, there's a nice 5. It's actually tied at 3-3. The McDonald twosome against Gordon, Goodine, and Stanley. After 4,
Yeah,
score is
play the
3-3.
You got it. Oh, it's mine.
And after 4 on ice
Not
2
easy to
with Winter Selje, I'm probably not saying
Salage.
that right. Salage. And Eldridge and McLeod.
Okay.
Eldridge McLeod ahead after 4, 6-1.
Okay. Intern or this way?
And our game
Yeah.
is in the 4th end.
You're our turn.
And on sheet 1,
Oh no, you're
They
intern.
haven't
My
put the
turn.
score up yet. They haven't finished the
they're
4th.
finishing the 4th as we speak.
Usually
And that's
you're
a
the one
flash,
confusing me.
so I think it's going to be an opportunity for
I'm just gonna aim that blue.
Forrestal and Como to score 2. They're lying 1 right now. Now to put them back in the game.
So Lister's
Whoa,
shot when
got
she
lots
came
of
down,
line.
she moved that center guard
Wait,
just a little
only-
bit off the center line, which opens it up a little bit. I don't think that was her intention.
Here
but
goes.
No,
Yep.
It was a little tight.
Hard.
yeah. They're
Switch hard.
see now there's that one's underthrown too. Oh no, actually it's a good guard. It's coming in nice.
Yep.
I don't mind that.
They're
Sit.
getting caught with the amount of curl here a little bit too though by times.
I don't mind it.
Well, this would be a little more curl than what they're accustomed to in normal play.
We'll curl a little bit at the end. But
With texturing the rocks, that doesn't normally happen in club
it
play.
only stays
Right.
up there until about those dots right there, and then it starts curling.
So Sandy Como's drawing for
For Douche, trying to get
Or
a
she-
split.
that was a bit of a risky. So they scored the 1.
Well, she can freeze to it. Yeah.
So 4-2 for Palmer and Burgess over
They could be
Como
peeling too.
Forrestal
I
after
think they're
4.
gonna peel.
As we said, these are 8-in games, and
Yeah, because he said, oh, you could do the corner
Lawrence,
freeze
as you
too.
mentioned, throughout the game, not in the particular end, but from end to end, you can actually change your positions.
You can change the rotation of the player. You don't always have to be the same person throwing the lead stone. Yeah. And for different purposes, they do switch.
Yep.
Because each player, like on normal curling, has their own talent. Everybody's a little better at something. So we haven't seen a power
Yeah,
play
a
come into
little bit.
effect yet.
Yeah, you'll have to help me with explaining that one because I'm not too familiar with. I've heard the term, but I'm not
got
sure
it.
what the intent is. So
It's a little heavy, I think.
hopefully we'll be able to see it, perhaps.
Let's hope so. I'd like to see one being used.
Overshot. Okay, just come top 12, I think.
That's. I think Kendra might have
You don't wanna leave
wanted
a
to
double.
hit that more
We can hit
directly
that.
back because now she's
No,
giving
you can hit this.
Marlies
sit
an
there.
opportunity
They don't-
here to hit
Why?
and roll behind
What?
some garbage.
Well, you leave them in the pocket, right?
There's also the draw, I suppose, right?
Do you like going here?
Well, I think it's probably more just a tap back and a roll.
But
Well,
you
she could-
need to roll.
You need to roll. You need to roll on the inside.
What?
Try to get under cover.
Yep.
I think we can figure this out though, so it's fine.
I don't mind that, but I also don't mind there.
What if we just tap it? Because then it's high here.
I don't like that because you're leaving that.
It's hard
Once
to get there
again, we're
to the edge of
the
it though,
Watch
'cause you
Live
would only.
broadcast of the Curling New Brunswick Mixed Doubles
if we
Championship
just come
here
right
at Curl
here?
Moncton on Bell
Okay, yeah,
5
let's just do that.
TV, Channel 1.
And yeah, we have like a
You can
pocket
also
too,
watch
so.
the live stream on the Curling NB
Here?
webcast player, courtesy of 360
Like here?
Live.
Okay.
Due to COVID, there's not attendance in place for this event, so perhaps another time. But for this year,
But thanks to Bell, people at home have an opportunity to be able to watch this, whether you're family members or you just have an interest in curling. And the beauty of watching a mixed doubles is that you're not sitting in your chair or couch for 2.5 to 3 hours.
no.
You can do this in an hour and a half.
And Brian, our technician from Bell, has done a super job placing these new cameras. They're doing an excellent job presenting the activity on the ice.
I think it's heavy.
So
Needs to
she's
curl a lot.
throwing a little
Whoa.
extra weight. I think she wants to move that blue off the forefoot and try to get a
Whoa.
roll like we had talked.
Right
But
off.
it's not curling as quite as much.
It's
But
gonna come
It's
now.
gonna come,
It just
it's going to stay open, but
Yeah.
a little roll.
and that's not terrible either because of the
No.
backing.
Shoot.
Well, and that's why you just want tap backs, so that you keep backing.
Yellow's lying too right now, so this will be interesting to see what Lister
about that.
plays for.
I knew I was heavy when I let it go.
They've got to be careful where they hit it back, right?
And it's hard for them not to jam on
Yeah,
one of
exactly right. We just
You
gotta
There's a
almost
lot of
wonder if they
catchers, which
wouldn't be
is what I like
tempted
about that.
drawing around the other sides and getting themselves in place.
Yeah.
I mean, the
There's
double
a chance
is
that if
there,
you hit it, it might just go right through the
you
hole.
might waste one of your own as well.
That back one, if they try and get the
But
double,
those
the
two
slash
guards
double,
that are up there going to be hard to draw on that side.
does it go like that?
Yeah, but I think we get the movement, Dolores. Now, mind you, you
You
wouldn't
can
be
see it
scoring
now?
shot,
Yeah,
though.
you
That's
could
the
get a
only
rock
thing.
through there.
You
You
might
could
be
get
able
a
to do
rock
a
through there.
freeze
Yes, yes.
as a setup, but looks like they're going for a double.
Yep. And you know what? Who's got? They do have last rock.
They do have
so
last rock. So clearing the house is
Sure.
not a
No.
bad thing at this point.
What?
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, we're just really late. Yeah, I'm sure. Like, there's 1, 2, 3 ducks down there. I throw one, you throw one, there's one down there.
Interesting, Lawrence, that the listers are in their 30s and the Carter Goodine are in their teens. So,
And they're mid-team.
What?
yep, yep.
Oh.
But I tell you, if you look at
So you're talking about
Goodine's
someone's in the third
experience
and
here,
I'm like, who?
he's got
We're not that behind.
quite the
We are.
pedigree
Yeah.
in curling. He's been curling for a long time and
Very
has
important game. We're on
been on
TV.
the winning end
Yeah,
of a few tournaments.
that's great.
She's a little wide, don't you think?
So Kendra's throwing weight.
You could play like that.
And with that weight, of course, see the 4-foot line there.
It
She's
just
No, she
stays
missed it.
right on.
she might be taking both of hers out. Nope. Okay.
Do you like just come and guard it?
So
guard
for
it?
Samuel, he 2018
Guard
U15
it.
New Brunswick Mixed
I like coming right
Championship.
here.
2019 the Kenny Coates Championship.
Yeah, but they can't get shot.
2019 the
Yeah, we're
U15
1-2.
New Brunswick Junior Mixed.
Right?
The 2020 Junior Mixed
Yeah.
Doubles.
I just like guarding it.
Yep.
You don't want to
Very
leave
well.
him anything, so if you guard it, it's probably your best.
There's no catching there. I do like the guard. But I also don't mind coming.
And he's also an accomplished
I know, but it doesn't really make a
Pianist?
difference if we come there compared to
as
the back
well
one.
as an honor student
I like
with
just coming
distinction
high though.
from
Yeah, because
middle
then
school.
it takes that
Very
away.
well.
The hit and roll.
So he's not just another pretty face.
I don't really like it.
With a mask.
Well,
the
we'll play for that, okay? Like, I like.
I'm glad that we don't have to wear a mask because we're social distancing up here. But
Yeah, I just want to put something in front.
There's not a lot of us here, so yeah. So for Marliese Carter, she has also been on the winning end of a few things. She's won the U21 mixed doubles spiel and 2 mixed doubles cash spiels.
very well. Kendra's she's won the 2015 New Brunswick Mixed Championship, the 2018 New Brunswick Scotties Championship. And it's interesting, Daniel, of course, we've asked the players to give us some information. So
Line's good.
when Daniel was
Little
asked, what have
outside.
you won in the past? He said, free
How's
drinks.
weight? He needs to curl a lot.
It's customary with curling, if you lose, that you
Curl it if you
the
can.
opponent buys you a drink.
Where is
so-
it?
I mean, it could be a coffee. It doesn't have to be a drink, but
So they could get a little tap back here to drive them in, but very dangerous spot.
needed that to curl a little more, Lawrence.
Yeah. Probably about
Sorry.
2 feet too far.
Yes, yeah.
It's not good.
A guard. She could have ended up
What?
with a guard, and it would
I know.
have
I
sufficed.
can't believe that was that fast.
I know.
You must have
I
just got a
thought.
spot.
I thought
Because
I
Kendra
had
now
held
needs to
onto it
move
for
some
a long
rocks.
I
time.
think you just got a spot.
Yeah, and I mean,
Well, at least I'm a triple.
playing that as a double, she may get a triple
Exactly.
to lie 3.
It still leaves us to draw behind.
We shall see.
Oh,
You know, the problem
I'm so
here, though,
sorry.
of course, and we've seen it before, you throw that extra weight on that 4-foot line.
It's going to stay straight.
Absolutely. You almost got to cheat the ice. You know, we'll see where she comes out. Oh, she's
Got it this
Good
time.
solid weight.
yeah, and
got it this time.
come out pretty well where she had to be too.
Yeah.
It is curling.
No, she got it.
Not much.
Yeah.
Look
Look
at
at
that.
that.
Very
Three.
nicely done. A triple takeout. Wow.
Shot.
To lie 3.
Well, I've been watching Kendra since her junior years, and she's
What?
a tiny person, but can throw the
It's your
weight
rock.
when it needs to be
Pretty
thrown
good.
and with accuracy.
And that was ideal. She was inside the 4-foot
Yeah, me
line,
too.
which is where she needed to be, without someone holding
Yeah.
the broom. And
Yeah,
that was
you got it.
well executed.
Let's try coming here.
Last end, right? I mean, that's my first shot.
Yeah. You got it.
There's so much ice that shot, too. Yeah, I think it's
And Lister's having last rock.
Right.
Also, so-
Right.
I assume that what he wants to do now is a freeze on that 4-foot.
Yes, which is where they started, right? That's that's where Daniel had placed his rock.
You got it. You got it.
So at this end, Daniel threw the first rock and throws the last.
A little heavy.
So this is the last of the Carter Goodine stones.
Looks a
Wait,
little
it's a little
tad
up.
heavy to me.
Now he may get, if she sweeps that, she could get a rub and a roll. No, we'll let it finish. Just too heavy. Just too heavy.
Yeah, it didn't quite finish, but probably somebody calling line might have got a little tick off of that.
Yeah. And that's
Because-
hard to do when you're,
Yeah,
Well,
it's
yeah,
getting
you're
a
going
lot
to sweep
faster.
to get a tick, or is it
Getting a lot
actually going to
faster.
curl a little more? It's always a tough.
What?
As a new skip,
Yeah.
I find that a really tough call.
Now, Lawrence, look at the ice. Judging from Kendra's
curling
last
too fast, I
shot,
was
this
thinking that
will. There's not much ice there, so just inside the 4-foot line.
You're not taking any
Sorry,
ice.
I
Those
skipped
lines
something
that are
else,
run
sorry.
from house to house are called the 4-foot line.
You got it.
Oh, that's curling.
Well, he's beating it pretty good here. He's got nice weight.
Goodbye.
Wow. Wow.
Nice shot.
Beauty.
So we got
Four.
another big end.
I don't need it.
So we're into the mid-game break. This is later than the other games,
Can we use our power play?
but lots of stones in play. So we're going to do a little ice maintenance and give a little break for the curlers to either have a little snack or a bathroom run.
So the Listers move ahead with a score of 8-1 over Carter Goodine, with the taking 4 in the fourth end. As we said, these are 8-end games, and we have another draw tonight at 8 p.m. and then 4 draws on each of Saturday and Sunday. Saturday is at 9 a.m., 12 p.m., 3 p.m., and 7 p.m. And on Sunday it's at 8 a.m., 11:30, 3:30, and 7 p.m.
It's starting to speed up.
All here at Curl Moncton.
I thought I threw like hog weight for that last one.
The broadcasts of the Curling New Brunswick Mixed Doubles Championship only on Bell 5 TV, Channel 1. You can also watch the live stream on the Curling New Brunswick webcast player, courtesy of 360 Live.
And if you're watching now, you'll see that wide shot of the curling rink, which is a compliment to Bell with their new equipment.
I'm so sad.
Yeah, and
I didn't know what to do.
Andre the Iceman is heading down to the other end to, as you mentioned earlier, just putting pebble in the sliding area. That tends to get used
I think I could go in and run and
more
get my jacket.
because you've got 10 rocks going, being thrown in that sliding path.
Yeah, and you've got a couple of issues. They're always throwing in the same sliding path.
Yep.
But since they're so active, their feet are warm also. So the sole of their shoes are a little warmer,
Yep.
and they're melting the ice a little more.
Yep.
So it's wearing down that pebble. Because as the pebble wears down and gets flat, it makes it more difficult to get a good slide out.
Yep.
Because that was one of the issues when Russ Howard first came to town. He was accustomed to arena ice, where arena ice was real fast, and he found the curling clubs in this area, the ice was too slow, and it was hard on his knees because too much resistance.
Resistance, yes, yeah. I'd like to say that might have been an excuse, but he's done fairly well.
That's a good point. But he practiced a lot.
Yeah.
He practiced more than he played. And which is quite common amongst a lot of the curlers. It's time's over. So on sheet 5, Good and Stanley scored another one in the 5th end. So they're
Two.
Or two, yeah. Sorry.
Stole
It,
2.
Yep. So it's 5-3 on that sheet.
When we know that we need a lot of sweeping. Anyway, I don't think we need 4 minutes.
And we have one game into the 6th end. Ice 2 is certainly
power
moving
play?
along. They're
And Winter Solage picked up one in the 5th end.
Let's try and switch it up again, too.
right. So they're down 6-2 after 5, and they're playing the 6th end. The Eldridge McLeod is lying 3 right now.
There's some good games, and I know on this sheet it does look like a blowout, but things change real fast.
Well, and this is where that power play may come into play, correct?
May come into
when
play.
you're down by that point, you become desperate to get some points on the board, right?
Yep. Which they're going for the power play.
Okay, so here, great. Good. And there's marks on the ice for that as well.
There's
I would
marks
take it.
where they are to go also, yes.
And this is called the power play.
This is called the power play.
And you're only allowed to do it once in a game, correct?
Once in a game, yeah,
Per team.
per team.
Right.
Yeah, and it lines up as with the long shot. If you looked at it from the hack, they don't look like they're in the same line, but they are to line up with the delivery hack.
Right.
So the bluestone, for instance, may look a little off, but that's because it's lined up
From the hack.
From the hack. So somebody can sit in the hack and look down. So Kendra was in the hack looking down to see if they were lined up properly.
Well, then, Lawrence, when we get an overhead too, you'll see in the ice, and that's done for the training as well, there are lines that stop at the hog line. But if they were to continue on, they would end up close to where you're talking about.
Exactly. So the power play is being used by Carter Goodine. They're in the they're the ones that could get to place the rocks, and they want to score big because they are way behind.
Yep. So the 4 foot is wide open. The strategy for the Lister team will be to keep it open.
Yeah, and that's why the power play serves two purposes. I've found. I still quite haven't fully figured out where people use the power play, is to either score or to keep it open.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, where should I aim?
Now the play here
Where should I aim?
for Marlies would be
That counts a lot to them,
to come sit on their Yellowstone that's there on the 8 foot.
I would say so.
Yeah.
So they'll ignore that stone in the house, the blue stone in the house completely.
Correct.
They want to accumulate stones in the house.
Yep, and
their
it's
stones.
And it's partially guarded, so.
However, call me wrong.
She's
going to the other side of the house.
She's going to freeze on the blue, I believe.
As I told you, I don't know. I don't fully understand.
Or actually, they're just wrong. They don't care as long as they get another stone in the house. Yeah. There you go. We're learning something ourselves here.
Well, I stood with Jeff Stoughton at one of the tournaments, and Jeff Stoughton was the guru for mixed curling for the Curling Canada, and he couldn't explain it to me either. Different teams use it for different reasons.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And like you said earlier, it's whatever you feel comfortable with too.
So I can see the strategy here by splitting the house.
That may have gone a little deeper than she would have liked.
Probably so.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So now opportunity to Lister to come and they have shot rock. If they get number 2 in there, it's going to make it difficult for Carter and Goodine to score.
Well,
multiple.
Yeah, because they'll have to move rocks.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure where if Kendra wants a freeze, or they kind of indicated that just 12 foot, 8 foot.
Yeah, I think
without
if they
having to freeze,
yeah,
stay open.
I think if they get the second rock in there, I think they'd be happy with that, regardless of where it is, as long as they score number 2. Daniel's not sweeping it, so letting it play.
It will curl here, right?
Be a little heavy.
It's coming now. As the weight comes off it, it curls, and again, might be a little deep, but still, they're lying.
But it makes it challenging for Carter Goodine that there's still 2 stones in play.
Yeah, I don't think they got second rock on that second stone though. Might have been just a tad heavy.
A little heavy, but I think it's early to worry about who's first and second rock.
Yeah.
Because now Carter Goodine's got big decisions to make. They need to score a lot. 1 is no good for them.
And if they, Lawrence, if they were to come and lie on either one of those, not take them out, but sit on top of them,
this would be a really good double.
there's
It's
nothing
really flat.
stopping the Lister
Hit and
team
roll.
from doing the same thing.
They're coming right back on top, yeah.
I'll hold the broom.
And keep them to 1, right?
They like inside out.
Carter Goodine would definitely want to score multiple points here, get back in this in this game.
Oh.
I know some people might say, well, these guys scored 4. Why couldn't they scored 4? But you can see a tendency here where the momentum has certainly been with the Lister squad. So, yes, it's possible, but so far that's not been the way they've been curling.
Well, it's the Listers have been able to turn the tide on with one shot.
Yeah.
You know, they scored 4 points in the fourth end where yellow was sitting shot.
Yep.
So it turns around very quickly.
Yep. Yes.
They're going for takeout.
And I think they were looking or hoping for a roll, which they
Roll.
got.
Nice shot.
And a
Very
tap.
nicely
There.
done. Now that was
Got
a nice
9.
shot.
Yep.
Sorry.
Almost ended
I got
up
9.
almost lying 3. I don't think
Really
quite.
good. And you missed
Certainly
the jam
2.
too. It's
1 and
awesome.
2.
And I think 3.
Yeah, we're sure. Yeah. No. They're 3.
Yep, 2.
You ruined my dreams, man.
But it shows it's. I mean, the potential with that shot was to be lying 3 and really make a move here.
If they want the roll, they should do the inside out. But if they wanted the roll, they should do the inside out. But
Kendra
it's hard to
showed Daniel where she'd like to come out with this takeout.
So she probably would like a takeout and a roll.
Yep.
Yeah.
And yeah, actually she could roll either way.
Like the first hit by the
I know.
I was like, dude.
I know.
It looks like we have our first game. It's over.
On sheet 2, yeah.
Oh.
Eldridge and McLeod have beaten Winter and Salage. Score of 8-2, having only played 6 ends.
So Kendra didn't get the roll to the side, but his shot rocked.
Which way are you coming at it?
So opportunity here for Goodine. I'm not
Which way?
sure. Is it Marley? No, I guess it's Marlies that's going to be throwing.
Yeah. Yeah, I can tell by here.
Samuel's looking. It's almost like he's not convinced that they're who's number 3.
Well, from the overhead shot, looks like blue is number 3. And I think the Listers were pointing at blue as the shot.
Yes, they
Yeah.
were. Yeah. Now, he doesn't want to get too cute here. He doesn't want to roll out. He needs this to stay to
And
at least get 2.
And he doesn't even want to roll,
No.
because if he rolls over to his other blue, it just leaves it open for a double. But that the number 2 rock counter is in a tough position because that was the rock that was placed and it's behind the guard.
Brian, are the players mic'd? How come we're not hearing? Okay, fine. I just noticed Samuel playing with his recorder, and okay, good. All right. So we're being told that the players are mic'd, but we're just we're going to be working on that.
We can't hear them.
No, as yet.
Yeah.
Oh. Yes! Hard!
He's going to get some good action on this.
Hard! Go! Go!
Nice shot. Nice shot. Just made a double to lie 3.
My back pocket.
What?
My mic fell off my back.
That was a great shot.
Really?
Beauty.
That's what I was saying. I had to put it back in.
So if the audience is wondering why we're guessing, and maybe we're guessing wrong, is that we don't hear the players speak, and the viewing audience is.
Pretty good. No double.
No. Well, the guard's still there. They're probably just gonna freeze, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, we're shot 3 down. We got 2 more, right?
Yeah. You only got one.
So Kendra's going to try to place one. I would think, Lawrence, the objective here would be to try to get full 8 foot on that shot rock. Yep. And even if she doesn't get shot, even to get buried by that behind that blue would be a cut them down.
I don't want to watch the.
Oh, they're hitting.
I'm gonna have to like record the TV next time.
That looks a little hot.
Well, it looks like a takeout to me.
They got it?
Daniel's really trying to.
Trying to get it to curl.
Wow. Opportunity, Carter Goodine.
Yeah, I like right there. Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah, because a lot of things behind you.
like here?
Or you go here. But I just don't want them to
No,
freeze, right?
exactly.
You actually kind of want right here.
And if you go here, then there's a potential jam. But then,
Yeah, you definitely want right here. Not
So it looks like they'd want to place one pretty well in the open.
yeah, because you don't. Yeah, but they might.
I don't know. Would you
Okay,
would
you
you be
want me to hold it?
tempted to? Yeah, you don't want to probably come over to that side to allow for a double to happen, right?
No, I would be tempted to put one on the button wide open, make the listers go after it.
The unfortunate part, though, Goodine and
Would lighter be
Carter
better
have
in this
last
scenario?
rock.
Like instead of top 4, if top 12, would that be okay?
Well, yeah, you want as long as it's
Yeah.
really don't want garbage.
Which I guess is coming up right now,
Hold up.
right?
No.
Yeah, this is it.
Oh,
This is it.
so what was the conversation about? They just have to.
I don't-
Anywhere's in the house. We can't hear the conversation.
No,
so-
no, for sure. Well, we were just talking about the possibility of scoring a big
Weight's
end,
really
and
good.
It's got themselves a good draw there. Top 12 was fine.
Weight's good. Good shot. Right where you tapped it.
So there are 2 rocks left. Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought.
No, you're right. So they're lying 4 at this point. And this is where we were talking about going to that side. You're
they're buried, though.
letting yourself open for a double, but
Well, that's why I would have thought you'd have wanted to be
No.
really.
They're
Center
buried,
line?
they're buried.
the only other option though had
Had
the lister
They're doing that.
drawn on that side
Yeah, I didn't see
and
that one.
frozen, then you're really keeping them to 2.
I saw it. I just thought it would be harder. But I guess no. It's
The best shot that we could have
So
done,
we'll
the best
see.
shot that we should have done was top 4, like
Daniel's
right up
getting
there.
ready, and this will be
Yeah.
his last rock, correct?
Still not.
Yep.
Still.
So what turns you throwing
Depends on how much weight he
counterclockwise?
throws here. It may fall out.
He's throwing.
Depends on how much weight he throws here.
See it when it starts.
He's
I
throwing
can't
an
see
out
that.
turn. He's throwing an out turn.
Yeah, so he's counterclockwise, so that, but he's
He
inside.
knows him.
He's trying to get some action on this.
And be hard to hold. And stay wide open,
He might get a double. He did,
but he's rolling out.
and he's rolling out. Wow, still opportunity for 4.
Yep.
No, we're not.
Oh, we're 1.
Yeah.
Still hitting.
He knows. I don't know. I haven't played this way before. But
So I don't know which roll he wanted. I would have thought he wanted to roll the other way.
Yep, yep. But as I say, I think he was a little narrow to
yeah.
start things out.
I'd
Yeah.
rather the broom.
Right on the edge of the wall. Should be fine.
I know. I just want to see something. You know.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just more comfortable with the broom.
That's okay.
Sorry.
Nose hit the stick, and they're scoring 4.
And I think the game
Maybe
on
a little
sheet
bit less.
1,
It will
Burgess and
fall out.
Palmer
Doesn't curl
just
outside
scored
the 4-foot line.
a big end, 3 or 4 ender. And that would bring them in at 10-2 over Como and Forrestal. I believe they're calling it quits. And that was after 6 ends, so.
They take out
Got
a
a
little bit
piece?
outside.
Yeah,
You
she's
have
got forgivable weight, though.
There
I
it
think
is,
she's.
yeah.
Sit, sit.
Oh, rolled a little too far, but still scored 3.
So I asked for a little outside.
You need that point.
Well, you said 10 or 9, so I don't even know what that means.
You're gonna bully us?
So you're viewing the mixed doubles provincial championship here at Curl Moncton, in Moncton, New Brunswick. There are draws, another draw this evening at 8 o'clock. We have 4 draws on Saturday at 9,
I don't know, I'm
12,
just thinking.
3, and 7. And 4 more draws on Sunday. They start at 8, 11:30, 3:30, and 7 p.m. for the final.
So we've got another power play.
Now this is by the lister, right?
Yep.
So a good score of 3.
A little this way. Yeah, that's good.
So here in the 6th end, we're Lister 8 and Carter Goodine 4. These are 8-end games.
What? 4 or 3, so it doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter. What do you think?
Lawrence, you said that the mixed doubles, the national is going to be in Calgary.
Yes, it is going to be part of the bubble of the
Let's just try
for
that.
the Scotties, the Brier mixed doubles, Canada Cup, and the World
Then the
Men's.
world's men, yeah.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Now it looks like she's playing to try to go
Whoa,
around
needs to curl a
that,
mile.
or perhaps even move that guard.
Just move the rocks around a little bit. Yeah.
Well, actually, she's got a nice shot. Look at this.
Oh,
Wow.
crap.
As long as she doesn't take out.
Sit down.
Good.
So she was not allowed
Sorry.
to take that stone out.
No,
Right on.
but you can move them around.
Right. Now in regular play, any rock in the house can be taken out, but
That's correct.
But yeah.
Sorry, I was
So
outside.
the 5 rock rule still applies here. But we're basically dealing with 3 rocks.
That's my favorite type of in the
Yeah,
curl
except
side. I
that
love
you
doing
can't
that. I just,
move any
you need
rocks
to know
out.
the ice when
Right.
you're playing it because you haven't played out that side yet.
Well, we just
Until the 5th rock.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, this one? No. Yeah, I
So
only threw,
the
like,
big
back
discussion now is
12.
going to 8 ends for all tournaments, all the major tournaments to
Right.
go to 8
Yeah, I
ends.
know.
And,
I think that's a TV consideration too. Lawrence, do you think?
well, it's from the conversations that I've been hearing lately. It's not just the TVs, but the players themselves. The players are finding that it's fairly tedious to play the kind of games they play today, and to play 10 ends twice a day for 7 or 8 days. It's really hard on the players.
Right.
I was under the impression that it's strictly TV, but it's not just TV. It's
Okay.
the players also.
Right.
Now, for some, and some people feel that 8 ends is club curling. But at the level that these people play,
If we freeze, they're good.
and way before my time, that they used to play 12 ends
Right?
with
Yeah,
cornball.
let's do that. It's your shot.
Yeah.
Don't know how
Oh,
they
yeah.
did that.
Play the freeze.
And smoke and drink at the same time.
Yeah.
Ice?
Used to have the buckets
Yeah.
dividing the ices.
But now these are they're finely tuned athletes. They're the same athletes that you're going to find in any other sport. They train, they work out just for curling. They practice a lot, throw a lot of stones.
So this event,
It's
there's
a little
actually
up.
12 teams in
How's
this
line?
mixed doubles provincial championship being hosted here at Curl Moncton. You can watch the live broadcasts of the Curling New Brunswick Mixed Doubles Championship only on Bell 5 TV, Channel 1. You can also watch the live stream on the Curling New Brunswick webcast
Good
player,
shot.
courtesy of 360
You're good.
Live. Lawrence Bell Alliant, or Bell 5, has certainly done an excellent job with the camera positionings. It's a new setup. They've often broadcasted
What?
here from Curl Moncton, but not with
They're not
the
throwing the
equipment that
double.
they have right now, and it's
They're not
excellent.
throwing the double. They're throwing hit and roll.
It's an excellent broadcast. We're looking at
It's okay.
really some professional stuff here, so it's impressive.
It's really heavy.
Not sure we're as commentators that we're up to the
It
profession
didn't
of, the,
seem heavy at all, though.
of what we're seeing on the screen,
No,
but
no.
we're doing our best.
My hands are only being hurt.
I don't think Vic Router and Russ Howard have a whole lot to worry about.
Yeah, I told you I'm Vic, right?
Yes, you got
And
it.
I'm not Russ.
You got the roll.
Roll which way does you want to roll?
She has to roll that
So
way.
it's probably a takeout and
Yeah.
hopefully to get a roll, but there'll be a roll to the outside.
What do you like? Hitting something.
Did you
That's
say that there
easier.
was sweeping behind the tee line? Do
Yeah.
you remember that, or do you know?
In regular curling, that you can follow your
wanna
stone.
leave
The
a double,
sweeper
though.
can follow your stone, all the way
What
out.
do we
Yes.
just,
But in COVID play,
yeah, what if we
not
just
so
hit and roll
much.
Yes.
this way? And then the
In
hit
COVID
and
play,
roll
you
there?
can follow your stone,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
the only,
Yeah,
not
but
the
it
skip.
doesn't-
Only the person that's sweeping,
No, that's a
and
really
you
flat
can't
double.
sweep your opponent's stone.
No.
So, but in
I
this,
know.
I'm not sure how
No, it leaves a double. And
what the COVID rules in the
We'll have
mixed
to
double.
find
like
that
the-
out. Yeah.
if you hit and stick, yeah. Oh, it's pretty flat.
No.
If we hit
So
and
we're
roll,
in the
it's
sixth
here.
end of an
Our
8-end
rough is there.
game with
That's flat.
the Lister
Yeah.
twosome
Just not that way.
ahead 8-4 over Carter and Goodine. And on sheet
Yeah,
5,
like
they're
that.
in their 8th end.
Would I feel like this?
And we have the McDonald squad
More?
6-5 over
Good?
Goodine Stanley.
What?
They're playing the last end. Tight game.
Okay, you got it.
So I'm not quite sure what they're going to do here, whether he's going to do a takeout.
I think he's doing a takeout and probably try to get to roll, I would think. Because if he stays
Split
right
the house,
there,
yeah.
he's going to be high, and Lister will be able to come down and hit and roll. So I think that would be the call.
So we're seeing more takeouts in this end than any of the other ends, and that's, I think the listers are trying to keep it clean
Yep.
as possible.
Yep. Now he
Whoa.
got out there a little bit.
Yes, hard!
That's riding the forefoot.
Hard!
But called them on right away, so they want this little roll.
Hard!
It's not
Okay.
terrible, but it does allow an opportunity for Lister to hit and roll over on. Yeah.
Sorry. It just really took off there. My
The
bad.
they're
double, it's
It was like
that'd
a
be a tough
9-9
double,
or
I think,
something like that.
Lawrence.
Well, it almost looks like it's calling for a double. Could, well, no, not sure. There is a double there, but it's a lot of weight that would have to be thrown.
But as you say, Kendra could be up to the task. Very able curler.
Definitely needed.
Yeah, right. It would have been funny if it wasn't.
Actually, double jam. I think double jam.
No.
I think so.
No. That one will skinny by that one, but that one might jam. I doubt it though.
Depends how hard you're throwing it.
We'll see what she throws for weight
No.
here.
I don't think it will jam either way.
Skinny by both hands. Hopefully she leaves it.
Oh no, she's doing the wrong handle.
Oh, wow. Well, yeah, because it's flat.
Oh,
She got nose and hit and roll, I guess.
counterclockwise.
Not getting much movement, but he's going to get
Oh.
roll.
Yep.
Wow.
Nice. Yep.
Very nice. And nicely done.
That's pretty tough to do that.
It's all about limiting the amount of points you're going to give them.
You have one more, right?
You want to hit the hole.
Yeah.
And Lister has last rock,
Well,
so
you have to go this way,
you know
though,
they're at this point
Yeah.
they don't need to score big.
No.
They just to take the
Yeah,
end
he
or
will.
blank.
Yep.
I know,
Well,
but
I'm
it's inside out.
Are
so-
there blank ends? Like, do they?
The blank
I suppose
ends,
it's
but the
possible.
hammer changes.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, you got it.
So they
Oh,
don't
really?
they don't keep the hammer by blanking an end.
Okay, so
I think you freeze, but no,
That's
but
one
then
of the
if you
little
freeze, then they
twists
got, like,
to
a
this.
double.
You could just leave it triple.
yes,
Yeah.
because in regular play, you maintain
A
the
blank
hammer.
end, you blank
Got it.
end to maintain the hammer. So you may as well score than blank an end, because it's going to be the same thing happening.
Yep.
You usually don't want to just score one.
Right.
Looks like takeout.
Yep. Now you've got to be careful. I mean, you can hit it. It'd be nice to get a little bit of a roll to the sideline there.
But taking a lot of ice. The danger here is they catch it on the side and jam against.
Yeah.
Yes!
I think he was tight a little bit, but
I think so. It's really moving.
there goes his.
Whoa!
Stop it.
Goes his RF, Mike.
Did it hit the rock?
Yeah, it did. I tried to stop it.
Oh, she's coming out.
I don't know if that hit the stone or not, Lawrence.
Well, there's a conversation that they're going to be having, because if it did touch the stone, it's a touched moving stone. And they, so,
And Sam would know that.
so the chief umpire comes out and has a discussion with the two teams as to what they want to do.
The offending, the non-offending team has
Has the choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
So I couldn't tell, but to me it appeared like it was touched. So in effect, it's really, they don't have a choice here. The stones should go back. But as it happens here,
we don't have video replay, do we, Brian?
but it did hit it, yeah.
Thank you, guys. Sorry.
So there's an advantage here to the listers to leave it as it is than putting the stones back in play,
I was trying to kick it.
because it left this yellow stone
I'll
open.
be fine.
I think you'll be. Oh,
Yes, that's true.
Might have
Yeah,
thrown
so it's to their discretion. They could return it to where it was.
sorry. Thank you.
But as you say, this is
Catherine's the chief umpire, and she's the one that will make the decision of what's to be done here.
right.
Yeah, it's probably safer there anyway.
Yeah. That's the second time it's
That's a
fallen
shame
out,
because that's
so-
the second time that popped out of his back pocket.
Yeah.
Mine's still going strong. Knock on wood.
I think he might have strained himself a little bit of trying to.
Trying to resist, yeah.
Yeah.
I was way inside. So clearly way inside.
So as you called it, going for the takeout. They want to watch the jam, however.
It's coming across well.
I think they got the jam.
They do.
They're still in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Things have turned around a little bit for the Lister team here.
No.
I don't think that one's biting.
No. You think right here? Or like right here?
I think if we had the overhead on that, I think the blue is out. Thank you. Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, the blue is out.
Don't say that.
So I think the way that they were calling was
Okay, I'm just gonna.
Semi-guard?
which charge should I go?
in the house, but
Yeah, in fact, she kind of pointed at the center line, so to take
I'm
away
just
the
gonna aim
4
at
foot, I
the
think.
top rock.
But Carter and Goodine do not have last rock here, so you certainly want to be counting 2
Go
after this
down.
rock.
Your judge, though. Make sure. Make sure.
And certainly you don't want to be deep either.
Yeah. Make sure it's there. Just top 12. Yes. Hard. Get in
Full
there. Get in
12
there.
is probably
Hard.
enough.
Hard.
Yep,
Good sweep.
nicely done. That's what she looked for. Kind of forces the
Good.
do you come down to that, Lawrence, or? Oh, Kendra's just saying we're just going to go to the 4 foot.
just go for the 1.
Yep.
Yep.
Maintain.
Their last stone.
Yep. Yeah, I mean at this point you're.
I like forcing them here.
And again, they've been playing this this side of the sheet on draws
Oh, yeah,
all
6
night.
then.
So
This is so sad. What time is it? How long have we been playing for?
Started at like 3:30 or 4:30.
So 2 hours? Or almost. Not quite.
So the ruling on a touchstone is if it's with it inside the hog line, that the non-offending team does have the choice to either place the stones back into play or to leave the play stand.
okay.
I got it.
He's got the weight. Whether Kendra
14.
can.
I got it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Nice shot.
4 foot to score their
good
1.
draw.
Yep.
Good draw.
Yep.
So after 6, we have Lister's leading Carter Goodine 9-4. And the only other game left on the ice is ice 5, which is the McDonald's playing the Goodine Stanley. And that game, the McDonald's are ahead 6-5 after 7. So they're in the 8th end with just a couple of rocks left to play.
So Carter Goodine is down by 5 points, but they feel they still want to keep playing. They still think they have a chance. So good for them.
Well, and this is early in the tournament too, so you know.
Get all the practice you can get in.
So back to regular play. And we've got Daniel Lister leading us off here. In the 7th end. And it's the regular play. Lawrence going down to the sit on top of the shot rock, the back of the forefoot. He's out there a little bit, and again, might be a
Just a little tad heavy, maybe. Oh, there it goes. Look at it move now.
Here it comes. Kendra's not touching it. Yeah, just a tad heavy.
So just a little promo for Curl Moncton and local youth curlers. As there's going to be a curling camp here on December 30th from 1 to 5 o'clock for any youth curlers that want to come. There's a cost of $10. There'll be a good camp. Space is limited. There's going to be some off-ice and on-ice training for the curlers. So, register early if you want to get in.
That's a curl. Whoa!
Good activity with Christmas break.
Well, it's a good Christmas break with not a whole lot going on this year, so.
Sorry.
I don't think the ice is keening up, but that was a little heavy as well.
That was heavy as well, because now it left it open for Kendra to come and sit right in on top there, which is what I think they were trying to do the first shot.
Right.
But
Sorry.
a little more backing now.
Exactly. Put the pressure on.
No, it's my fault. I was outside. Nice shot. Oh, I was just looking over there. Like, there's no shot. Just waiting.
So the first of Kendra's stones here. She'll be throwing the next 3. This one and 2 more. And this, the 7th end.
Looks a little heavy.
That seems a little hot as well, Lawrence.
It does.
I know. It's hard to judge the ice. It keeps changing.
It's just, well, it's catching the curl now. Here it comes. But it was a little hot.
Okay.
However, she remains shot. It's wide open for Marlis to put one on the button with some backing.
You got it.
The next draw this evening is at 8 p.m. and we
You got
have
it.
4 draws tomorrow, Saturday at 9, 12, 3, and 7, and 4 draws on Sunday starting at 8, 11:30, 3:30, and 7 p.m. for the final. All taking place here at Curl Moncton in Moncton, New Brunswick.
We do not have room for spectators, but if you want to tune in to the live broadcast, 5 TV, Channel 1 on Bell, and you can also watch it live stream on 360 Live.
And we have a winner on Ice 5,
Good shot.
7-5 for the McDonald's over Goodine and Stanley.
So they
Nice
placed
weight.
that rock pretty well exactly where they wanted it.
Okay.
I think I'll throw the ice at.
But it leaves Team Lister to just come up and tap it back a little bit, which is what she's indicating, I think.
So the featured game tonight on sheet 4
That's
will
funny.
be Adams
That's
Robichaud
funny.
against the
Okay, so we're
McDonald's
done, but I don't feel pressure.
at 8 o'clock.
I don't know why I
No,
said
we
that.
played really well.
No.
I don't think the time has changed
No.
for the 8 o'clock draw.
Plus, it's our first game since like March, so first
Yeah.
game since March.
So at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, we're gonna stop counting our wins.
Might be a slight delay.
No.
Maybe. I don't know. Depends.
Depends if this game can finish and the ice tech can get out to redo the ice.
Oh, almost fell over.
That's the only thing that would delay it.
Right.
Tell you what, if we go positive this
Well,
year, they'll count
yeah,
on
they've
our
got,
if we go negative.
That's all really good for learning too. Like,
They've got a great bunch of
it's really
volunteers
good,
here
yeah,
at Curl
tournament for
Moncton.
learning here, too.
Yes,
Andre's
That's
been
against
doing
all
a
the
pretty
hard
good job with the ice. He's
Yeah.
really interested in learning how to do things properly, and he's been a great attribute to Curl Moncton.
Now that was a nice
Yeah.
shot. That has been.
Try and get it that way.
It's behind the
Me?
guard.
I don't know.
Yep.
Oh, 12.57. I probably didn't get the right time on it, so just throw like 13.5 or something.
So what they have to do is they're going to have to try to move it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because of where the guards are set up, which we don't see on the overhead, but there is a guard on the center line there. There it is. Thanks, Brian. Which limits the approach here.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not a lot showing.
Yeah. But again, it's all about setting it up for their next shot, right?
You got it.
There's a little bit of weight because they want to move it. But she's on it right away for sweeping.
I think that might be moving on them a little bit. Yeah, just a bit. He had weight, good enough weight to move it for sure, but it also brought the curl into
It's
play.
okay.
Yeah.
I don't mind it.
Might have been just a little tight.
Well, that too, yeah.
Really do
Inside
that?
that 4-foot line, they'll
Really do that?
move.
I'm allowed to do that?
Get up and start again.
Like, before
I was noticing Andre, again, part of the COVID protocol, he's
I know, it's
taking the
so cool.
sanitizer wipes, and he'll clean all of the scores.
Because, like, I don't know.
Score,
The numbers on the
the
board,
score
yeah.
pieces, yeah,
It gets
before he
cold.
puts them back in the box. So, yep.
Yeah, sorry. Swept it well, though. You almost got
That's a good way to miss, though.
Yes, agreed.
You still, I have one more, right?
Fine.
You do? Oh, thank God. They're probably just gonna put the guard back up, right? They're just trying to
I
steal.
assume Kendra here wants to put up a guard.
I think that's what the indication was. Keep the pressure on.
They just don't want to play games. If they get a point, we won't play. If they don't play. If we get a point,
It's floating out there a little bit.
4.
Daniel's sweeping to try to make it curl.
Might get up and
He has
steal.
good weight, however.
It's a little heavy, too.
Yeah, well, that's not bad. She's going to get to the center line, so. Well, you're right. She is fit. Not terrible.
Yeah. I'll hold the room.
However, with that guard being moved
like it?
off the center line, now those blue rocks are open. And Carter Goodine
Make
would
sure you don't
certainly
jam
want
on
to
this
score
one.
multiple points here to continue playing.
What? You have to skinny by that guard.
You can get by the guard with lock.
Okay.
But it's going to be hard for him
Yeah,
to
like
move
right
some
there.
blue granite out
And go to the center
without
line.
hurting his
Yeah.
yellow
Yeah,
rocks that are.
yeah.
Yeah, I
There's
don't-
jams all over,
okay.
right?
Okay, I didn't know. Okay. I don't know how to sit there.
Play continues this evening at 8 o'clock. As I said, the featured game will be Melissa Adams and A. Robichaud playing against the McDonald squad. They're both A, so I don't know what their actual names are.
Alex Robichaud, isn't it?
Yes, but
the
the McDonald's
yeah. No,
are
I
both.
don't-
They're both A's, so I'm not
Yep.
sure. I don't know if we have that here or not.
More?
I don't see it, but.
Whoa! Girl.
So Adam and Amy McDonald. Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow, that moved some granite around, but I'm not sure it did them a whole lot of good.
Sorry.
Opened it up, I guess.
Again, I think you'd want to score multiple
Yeah, I
points
do.
here. Right now, I would say blue is, well, they're lying one for sure. And
They're pretty good, actually.
I would think they'd want to get in there for number 2. Kendra's having a look.
I don't even know.
I think yellow is 2 and 3.
I moved so many times.
Yeah, I'd say so.
And there's only one rock that's not in play.
If we get one, do you want to shake or no?
What?
If we get one, do you want to shake it?
No.
Wait,
We played the last end. Why not?
what? What'd you say?
We can play the last end.
Yeah, sure.
So this is Lister's last shot here.
They're just guarding.
I think so.
Gotta hope this over curls. But
Pretty sure that's what they decided. I think that makes more sense.
yeah, they're guarding.
Oh, yeah.
He's got it.
It's the right play. Actually, probably half. Sort of curling.
No, it's not.
Just a guard,
Or a holder?
but she's going to over curl.
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 Look at that curl. Look at that curl.
Little.
Same shot.
It's my shot, isn't it?
What?
My shot?
Left the door open a little bit.
Yeah. Oops. I don't want get our 1 point. Play the last end. I don't know. Normal? This has got to go by the guard.
So it looks like she's going for a tap back, yellow on blue, so that they can score 2, maybe 3.
Which is what they'd want to be doing.
Puts them right in the game.
As they say, it's never over till it's over.
But it's tight.
Yeah, and even to, you want to be hitting it as much on the inside as you can. And,
Yeah.
and with that guard on the center line, it's not an easy task. Very weight sensitive, I would say, Lawrence.
Throwing big weight. The danger is, though, that it, just like that. That was the danger.
Yeah, yeah. Now they're debating who's second rock, but I'm pretty sure it's.
Yeah, they're calling it quits.
So
Good luck.
after 7 ends, we have a score of 10-4 for Lister over Carter Goodine. Well, that
wraps it up, Arnold.
that wraps it up. Thanks very much, Brian, and Lawrence. Pleasure. We'll see you in the
Pleasure
morning.
working with you again. And for the folks at home, tune in again 8 o'clock tonight
Correct.
for another game.
Bye for now.
There's